Hi, everybody, and welcome along to Meet Your Trading Experts. Today's a different show and a really exciting show. We're going to have with us today James O, not one of the amazing. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Hey, everybody. Not the normal trading guest that we have, but a man who's the man who takes our ideas and our concepts and turns them into reality. The man that makes sure that the ideas that we have are delivered to the people that want to have a part in the education and the events and everything else that we do. Really, James runs a team and makes sure that everything that we have as a concept is turned into reality. Really, he's the heart of the operations. He's the guy that makes it all happen. We're going to open up a little bit later on and offer you guys the chance to ask him any questions. But first, welcome, James. Welcome to Meet Your Trading Experts. Welcome on board.
Hi, Paul. Nice to be on the show. This is my first time on the show as well.
Cool, mate. What can you tell us about? Let's get straight into you, a little bit about you. We'll talk a bit more about the role a bit later on. But where do you come from? What did you used to do, and what brought you to us?
First of all, for me, what I did before, I did quite a lot of stuff, but I am a PhD. Okay, not your particular PhD in terms of in the education. Mine is poly halfway dropout. I call it in short PhD because it's just rhyme. I dropped out from poly, some sort like college or in other area. So I only have O level so-called cert. I was in poly has marine engineering, and that's my last choice. So I wanted to go into travel. Going to the travel industry. So that was my first few choice in terms of when I was selecting my so-called curriculum or my course that I want to go when I was in poly. I dropped it up halfway because my grades can't make it. So after that, I went into direct sales. From direct sales, what I learned more was on the communication part because to my family, I was a very shy guy. So when I first started into direct selling at the age of 18 years old, none of them thought that I can make it. And I stuck with it for about 4 years' time before I went over to serve my national service. But during that period of time, it got me interested into personal finance. Instead of working just 9 to 5, it got me so-called interested into how to make money and set out of business. So, and then from the start, I started out learning how to do affiliate marketing, and that is how I got started out in terms of in business. And then I actually got interested into while I was in affiliate marketing. After that, what happened was that I saw I traded myself. So how do I get traded? It's very simple. I saw a green bar. There was one day I go and research online beside affiliate marketing, what else is there able to make money. So I come across trading and I come across forex trading. So I did my own research, but I never get a proper education. And from there, how I get started was I just saw a green bar and I just entered into the market on a green bar. And in 2 hours time, I made about double of my account. Okay. But of course, at that point of time, I did not know there's this thing called, if you never close it, if you never bank it, the money isn't yours at all. So I only saw my account went up from 500 US dollar. I placed in live money inside there. I didn't know this thing called stop loss as well. So I just put in 500 US dollars and then trade based on a green bar. I supposedly think it's a green bar or red bar, either one. And then it make 700 US dollars during
Very
2 hours.
Very cool.
Very good. But after that, in the next 2 hours, I lost everything. Because I don't have a stop loss at all. So I thought, what happened? Why I lost everything off? And then I saw the market turns. I just search my account history. I just placing a trade. And at that point of time, I don't know this thing called MT4 platform on computer. I just place a trade on my mobile phone app. and that was during my national service. So if for those of you guys who are in Singapore, you might know, when you are serving national service, you only have allowance, and it's not few hundred of thousand of dollars, it's just $600. So 500 US dollars is my one whole month of income, of allowance. And I use that as my so-called education inside there. So after I lost the first 500, I placed another 500 inside there. And this time it doesn't go up to 1,002. I just lost everything straight away after 2 hours. That's a total of US of $1,000 spent. And at that point of time when I saw that it can make money, I don't know that I have to close it to bank it in. And I don't know this thing called stop loss. And after losing 1,000 US dollars, then that is where I decided that, hey, I really need to get educated in this region, because first of all, what get me interested is I can just trade from a computer with just the internet. And that means I can work practically anywhere. That's the same reason why I wanted to go for travel industry, because I feel that if I go into a travel industry, I get to travel a lot. Working in hotels, I might go to other hotels in the world to help others out. That's the reason that get me wanted to go into the so-called travel industry at a point of time. And Forex makes me feel the same thing again, because I can trade anywhere with a computer. And that's the reason why I decided to step into it. So, and at that point of time, I come across a lot of so-called advertisement. But one of the advertisement that I come across is Paul and Roy. I mean, some of you might not know Roy. Roy, I think, is the first student of Paul in Singapore, and the one that also helped to start off Actions to Wealth. So at that point of time, what happened was that because before I entered into national service, I took up this course from the same company, Zion Global Marketing, Wealth Mastery, I think, which many people are know. So I took up their affiliate marketing course, and then one day I saw an email blast to me on forex trading, and after losing $1,000 of forex in forex US dollars, I decided that, hey, I think there's no harm to go down to take a look, and I trust the people that is providing this service. I mean, who is marketing this, who is sharing about this. So I went down, and at that point of time, I think Roy was the one that was doing the sharing session. So when I just sit down there for 2 hours, I listen through everything, just like you guys sit down there, listen through. And then one thing that it strikes me is that I find it's a no-brainer for me to sign up. First of all, is I paid, I think also a few $1,000s. First of all, I paid, and Roy and Paul is going to provide me with an account to trade. That would mean that I do not need to, after I learned, I do not need to go and find more monies. You know, I already lost $1,000. I don't need to go and find more monies for trading. I mean, after paying that education, there's someone still going to give me an account to trade. I find that it's a no-brainer deal for me not to go into it. So after the sharing session, I signed up straight away. And then that's how, from there, I attended a 2-day course. At the point of time, it's a 2-day course. And then I get to know Paul, and then get to know Roy. And then during the session, I also signed up. I feel that, I feel like, this is the thing. And during that point of time, I know that 2 days of course, I was learning 3 strategies, 3 different strategies at that point of time. My head was like blown, because I have like 3 strategies to learn. And I took up one-to-one coaching with I think at the point of time with Roy as well after the course. So that was about I believe 7 or 8 years ago.
Mate,
7 or 8 years ago.
I've got to jump in here. So you did SFX back in the days. We did SFX with the 3 strategies. We did the income creator, slingshot, the income creator, the slingshot. I can't remember the third
and the
one.
Full daily wave rider.
The full daily.
The wave rider.
The wave rider. Wow.
So you have the daily wave rider, you have the 1 hour wave rider, you have the 4 hours wave rider, and you have the slingshot, and you have the income creator.
And we did that in a day.
We did it in 2 days.
2 days. My God, that was just something. But I couldn't help but I think when you were talking about it, with the phones, I wonder how much money people have lost over the years by just putting some money into a trading account, logging in from their phone, and guessing up or down. And it must run into the millions and millions of dollars. And
Yep.
great fun when you're doing it. Apart from the losing, your first time you see, you get excited, you have a crack, nothing. But it's really cool that some of the people who come from that do get through and learn how to do this properly. And you're a guy who can trade properly, right? You're still, as well as working for us as a operations manager, you make stuff happen for us. You also still continue to trade when you can in between the work, right?
Yes. So at a point of time, I don't even, besides not knowing there's this thing called stop loss. I don't even know there's this thing called lot size. So I assumedly I just place a trade on one lot on a $500 account.
It's
and then you get
funny, isn't it? When you look back on this stuff when you're learning, I think when we've done this for a while, we forget how much there is to learn and how it does take a while to get your head around it and make it work. But we've got a few questions coming in and we'll get to them. I'm going to push on a little bit before we do, if that's okay. Helen, it's trading. Losing's a part of it. Everyone's going to have a trading story. And who taught Daily Wavewriter then? I'm pretty sure that Chloe was running Income Creator and Paul Hutton was running the Daily Wavewriter. Although Roy would have been pretty heavily involved in those days in teaching that stuff as well. Okay, mate. So you left school, you went into a direct selling role, you did your military training.
And then I was a financial planner for about a year as well.
Yeah.
Because after learning trading, what got me really interested is in the area of finance. So I know that if I work 9 to 5, somehow or rather, I still have to plan out where does my money income, where does it goes into. So I make it a point that every year that I would have something on focus to learn in terms of generating more income or generating more, so-called having more streams of income. That's what people are saying. So I was a financial planner for a year. I went to, so I have some basic knowledge about financial planning. So from there, I went into to learn about value investing. I took up course on value investing. After that, I have courses in other Forex education to see from there, how do I, is there anything good that I can bring on board to Actions to Have client as well? So that's where I did some of my sharing session during the trading retreats. So that's how everything come into play.
Cool, mate. So I remember there was one thing, I don't know if it's a Singaporean thing. It's one of the things I really liked about Roy when I met him was that he was the same. Every year, Roy would commit to doing another education program to better himself. And I think it's a really Singaporean attitude where people don't so much rest on their laurels about their education. They continue to find other ways and alternate ways of becoming better at that stuff. Look, so you found Actions to Wealth as a client, as a trader. How did you go from being a client and a trader to being an operations manager?
So what happened was that at a point of time, I was also working. I mean, I know Paul and Roy before I joined Wealth Mastery. So at the point of time, Wealth Mastery, they have an opening. So I joined them for, I think, a year plus. And then during that point of time, I was handling Paul and Roy has account over at a company. So I handled their sharing session, I handled their classes, so on and so forth at a point of time. So I get to know more about Paul and Roy, and then helping out in the 2 days SFX course. And then from there was an opportunity. Paul checked with me if I am interested to come over to Actions to Health to help out. I mean, has an operation to help out in the operation. So that's where I feel that not a bad idea. I mean, everyone has been working from home since 2020, right? I mean, due to COVID. But I have been working from home since Paul asked me to join Actions to Wealth. Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that I feel that it is good is that when I joined Paul and Roy, my thinking is to help out with that's my so-called thoughts. First of all, I feel that I want to increase my so-called learning in trading. Doesn't really matter the aspect. Is it in stocks? Is it in crypto? At the point of time, it's just forex. So I just feel that if I manage to join Paul, and Paul have this invite for me, I feel that I can learn a lot from the different traders. So that's the reason why I wanted to join Paul in Actions to Wealth. And then as the years goes by, more traders. Paul is great at picking out traders, I feel. I mean, picking out traders to join us and to learn from them. So over the years,
we've got a new one coming too. A new trader joining the team next week. Mihi from Brazil will be joining us, doing trading psychology and swing trading for us. Got a stellar record. Got a really nice record. Crazy about trading psychology. So another trading coming in. I'm looking forward to seeing him join the team. And we continue this real quest of ours at the moment to get to move on from trading intellectuals and onto. And it's really, people turn up and talk a good game, but people that are coming in, look, people like Linker, doesn't trade $1 billion or $1 trillion, but does trade profitably every month. And I think it's really valuable to keep bringing these people in that just are really good traders and trade really simple stuff they can teach. Mate, you've had exposure. You're talking about meeting all the traders. You've met all of the trading team. I'm just thinking you would have met all the trading team apart from Linker, right? You wouldn't have met Linker yet because she joined us after COVID, but you'd have met the rest of them. Do you have any memories of one of the traders? Anything that sort of stands out? Any advice, or do you remember anything that was a little bit amusing they said to you? I mean, other than watching them all fall asleep outside of Bali, do you have any other memories?
I feel that all of them. I mean, I went to the operation guy. I went to the first so-called. I meet them all different at different point of time. Is it before Bali trading retreat or the first Bali trading retreat ever encounter? I think that is the first time whereby all the traders come into, whereby I get to see them live. Otherwise, before Bali trading retreats, I only managed to see Paul Hutton. I feel it's Paul Hutton and Chloe. I think that is the only 2%. And of course, Lloyd and Charlene, they joined us during Bali trading retreat. But before that was just Paul Hutton, Roy, and Chloe. That's the first few traders that I've met. And then the Bali trading retreat was the really amazing one whereby everyone started to come in. Mikey, you get to see Mikey live in person. You get to see Jeff's live in person. And Jeff was also before, but I don't see him live in Singapore. Yeah, but that's only the Bali trading retreat. And then I also seen Julian, and then the rest of the trader that as we move on over the years, like Orlando. I mean, one of the things that I feel that they are all very real.
I remember that first Bali trading retreat because I think in the 7, 8, 9, 10 years I've known you, that first Bali trading retreat is one of only 2 times I've ever seen you drunk.
So yes, drunk. Did I get drunk? I don't think so.
I think you did. I remember home from the red carpet champagne bar. You were in great form. You were very funny. Give me a few questions about Roy, and I'll talk a little bit about Roy when we get into that. No, man, I think it's one of those things that every trading retreat, and I was amazed. I thought the live one was brilliant, but every trading retreat is unique. But they really are memory makers, aren't they? You do look back on those things and you smile. We had a lot of fun while we were making a lot of money. It's been a brilliant experience, and I do want to do a it was a great experience. Makes you smile. You look back and think that was awesome, mate. So now you're in the team. You've done your other stuff. You've come along. You've joined us, and you run the ops team. And what's that mean? What does the ops manager actually do? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I just go to meetings and say I want this to happen, and it happens. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think in Actions to Wealth or in our company with the different branding, Paul is the guy that have the ideas. Okay, so Paul's the one that have the ideas. I'm the one that implement it. That's I think that's about it. In simple and of course sometimes I was also provide some ideas to Paul. I also float some ideas to him in terms of the different areas of stuff. Let's say, for example, the Telegram channel, anything. Because I also quite techy. I follow the Facebook a lot. I mean,
Yeah, you
Facebook
are good at
posts,
the
and
tech
a lot of
stuff, aren't
people.
you?
Yeah. So if there's any like new software or things that other people are doing that I notice, I will actually float the idea to Paul to see how we can actually put it into our own help out with our own community as well. So
James,
that's my role.
when people out there say that I'm good with technology, that's a myth, right?
That is a myth, yes.
You're the guy that does all the tech
I,
stuff for us, and I think look, I reckon at the moment, James, that at times at the moment we're speaking for maybe an hour a day, talking through the ideas and the concepts. So it's not just that I have an idea and tell you and you do it. We spend a lot of time refining that concept and trying to make it as good as we possibly can. But you've got a bit of a team with you as well. How many in the team now?
Currently, we have about I think would be about 4 or 5 people in the team. So in the team, what they are doing, they are all virtual assistants. They help us from different way. I am good. I wouldn't say that I am great at certain stuff. I know how to do the website, basic stuff. I know how to do. I know how to do Infusionsoft. The basic stuff I know how to do, the sending out of the emails and everything. But when it comes to people who are expert, that is where we have engaged people who are expert in doing these things to help us to automate the whole process. So we have people like, I think Mai is in this webinar with us. She has been great helping us with design of the pages, the sales pages, helping us to facilitate the shows and stuff like that. So that is, I think, some of the stuff that is helping us. We have Angel, who is although we hire her as a personal assistant to Paul, but she also helping us with other areas. Have been awesome at the work that they are doing.
You stole her pretty quickly, didn't you?
Yes.
Personal assistant became your personal assistant pretty quickly. Okay, so we've got a team, and to be fair, the team's grown quite quickly, right? So for a long time, it was you. Charlene joined for a little while and ran the mentorship with you. We've had Anita come in perhaps a couple of years ago and help with some writing skills, particularly, and some general business organizational skills. And now we've got Angel and Mai have come in to help out as well, right? Angel, the full-time VA who works apparently for me, but I think really these days works more directly for you. And Mai, her sister, who's come in, who's operating this webinar, works a lot of the weekend shifts for us. And they do a lot of general help out work, right? You delegate the work and they get the stuff done, right?
Yeah, so I delegate out the task to them and then have them assist me to complete it, because I can't just, in the past when I first started to join Paul, I remember I handled everything from customer service, replying of email, all the way to event planning, and then going down to help out in events. So as the roles grows, I would definitely need I will need their help to actually make my so-called things move. Because nowadays we have like this weekend we have 2 events running. I can't be, if it's myself, I can't be managing all of that on my own if it's in the past.
Yeah, mate. It's it's one of those things, isn't it, where you work some very flexible hours. I mean, you used to work a lot of weekends. Now you do Mai in particular, maybe you need to help a lot more with the weekends. You don't work as many weekends, but you work some pretty varied hours over the time. But I'm just going to run through some of the questions and see if I can deal with them now. And then I'll ask you a few more questions and we'll go on. We've got a bit of what's the giveaway tonight, James?
Sorry?
What's the giveaway tonight?
The giveaway? That is 1 month of, if I'm not wrong, 1 month of the free Market Buyers broadcast group.
Cool, we'll give that away a little bit later on. We've got a couple of other free things to give away as well today. Look, had a number of questions during this chat about Roy, and I guess it's really cool. We don't talk a lot about Roy, as much about Roy anymore. During COVID, Roy's focusing on his businesses. So Roy took his trading money and he put them into other businesses, and COVID requires him to work pretty hard to make sure that they continue to go. Roy and I are still in touch, probably every couple of weeks or so. Roy's still the guy that I ring when I've got things I'm not sure about as far as running the business goes. Roy's still the guy that I ring and have a chat with, but he's not directly involved with Actions to Wealth anymore. Continues to be in the background with a bit of advice and a bit of help, and still trading, but not trading in the still trading, but not trading as much as he was as far as funds, because he's focusing on the businesses that he brought and making sure they get through COVID okay. At the end of the day, COVID's impacted a lot of people over the years and or over the time we've had it, and he is one that's going to have to work pretty hard to keep those things going really well. And look, he's a super clever guy, and I look forward to him. And one of the things I expect, I'm really hoping with the rollout of vaccines and things that we'll get to Bali again this year. And I'm really, if we do, then I would expect Royal to turn up for a day or two along the way and come and do some trading with us. It's always, the team loves seeing him, but not directly involved as much as he used to be. What was PB like to work with for 8 years? I was bloody good, thanks, Helen. Yeah, no problems at all.
I think PB is like, he have a lot of ideas. Paul have a lot of ideas that he wants to benefit the so-called community. I feel, but of course, because like he mentioned, he's not the technical part. He's not that technical. It's the myth, So I have to find the solutions on the ways to implement all the concept that he have. But I think working for anyone is the same. PB is, I think Paul is somewhat different from Singaporean boss. So I know what he wants. But of course, this is things that happens over the years, 8 years of time. Sometimes, like what he said, he sometimes when he tries to mention something to some people that they don't understand, but if he mention it to me, I get it away, because that's the understanding that I have. It's quite hard for me to share with you guys on how, but I think it's fun. There's a lot of concept things, mainly things that I learn a lot from him.
Cheers, James. I think it's true to say that with anyone, right? We worked closely together for 8 years. For the first half of that, probably I was based in Singapore, and then I travelled backwards and forwards until COVID turned up. And I think the truth is that I look at it this way, that I'm pretty passionate about it, and that means I can get pretty frustrated when things don't go well, or when I'm not getting the kind of stuff I want, and I can be a bit grumpy, but I think as well I can be pretty good to work for. That's my opinion on me anyway. I do agree, James. One of the things over the 8 years now is that there's an understanding between us that's a lot better, right? We you just get a lot more comfortable. You just understand each other and what we're thinking about a lot better, right? You get a degree of trust too over time, don't you? That the other person's got the right intention, right?
Yes, correct.
Look, Helen, when you're in the industry, someone's asking how I got the idea of supporting newbies with trading accounts. And look, when you're in the industry, you see a lot of different things. And I always liked the approach. I always felt that it's actually about different stuff to me than I think it is for a lot of people. To me, the trading accounts are about keeping people safe, that they won't have to pay if they make mistakes and lose them. Look, 90% of traders lose all their money. And, I've seen people, have their lives pretty badly destroyed by losing a lot of money trading. And, it was a way to teach and make people safe. And it was really just something for me that I would never have done education. This was a thing when I said no to Roy initially. It was because I wasn't prepared to teach people and have them make mistakes and lose a lot of money. So, I just said no for ages to Roy. So I don't know. I can't tell you exactly where I got it the first time. When I first started trading, the company that the guy I worked with in the US did a bit of this sort of stuff, did help me get involved. And again, this is back after the initial wins I had. I traded some other guys' money for a while, and he covered a couple of losses for me along the way. And it is something I think it's a really nice way of doing stuff for people to get into. I worked out the other day. I reckon that if the people that we had taught had started on their own or found another trading educator and gone with standard losses, the combined losses would be over $10 million by now. And people ask you what you're proud of in life. I'm really proud that we managed to stop the people from going through that. I'm not saying that every single person would have lost. I'm just saying that on average, all the people that came to us, if they'd had their own money, put it up, that the losses would be, considerable. And that we've managed to sit in the way. And not everybody makes money, but we've certainly made sure that those that don't stay safe. And I think that's a huge part. Okay, James, we've talked about a few other things. So what are a couple of the favorite things in your job?
A couple of favorite things in my job, I would say that the ability through your network to meet more diversify of traders. I feel that the community that you have built, not just for me, but has the ops. Of course, I meet them before everyone else does. But at the same time, the diversity of the different type of traders, your ability to pick up good traders for the team, I think that is one thing that I enjoy the most. And through the community, I get to know a lot of other traders, the different type of traders. Like Gordon, I think Gordon just joined us last year.
Yeah.
We have Bob that joined us last year. We have Lenka who just joined us. Ansley. We have the new one coming up, but of course, most of you guys will not have heard of him yet because I have already heard of him. So I think I'm the first person in the whole company to get to know. I think that's the things that
You are the one, right? When I've finished negotiating with a trader, you're the first one that you do the paperwork and get them involved and get them into the right broadcast groups and make sure they feel welcome for a period of time. I think for people coming in, it's always it's a little bit scary joining any organization, and we are now. There's a lot more traders in our organization, and I think it is a bit scary coming in. I think it's good to have them have you sort of help them through. I've got to say, for me, that's a bit of a subconscious skill, James. I don't know how I can talk for a trader for 5 minutes and go, he's not us. He's not the guy we're looking for. He's not going to fit. And I can talk to another guy for 5 minutes and go, he's going to be brilliant. And just picking the right personalities to be in the team, I think, is we've been very lucky with the quality of people that we've had. We've probably only had maybe 2 duds in the whole time, people that just didn't really fit, didn't really do the right thing by us. Everybody else for us has been exceptional. And I think we've been very, very lucky. You took over my favorite job, mate. How do you go handing out the checks?
So, before I mentioned that, I think the second thing that I enjoy the most working in Actions to Wealth is the ability to travel. So this fit into my initial plan of traveling. I mean, but as COVID is, none of us can travel, but once it's over, I think all the places that Paul wants to go, I think there are some places that Paul wanted to go, I think in Africa, going to England or UK or
UK is back on the agenda. I've got to say, James, I'm getting a bit old for some of the travel, and I am deciding whether I should go to these places and do some stuff, or whether we should license into some of these areas and have some other people operate. You still get to go, mate. I'm getting a bit old for this kind of stuff. Question for you, mate. Bali, Philippines, Malaysia, where for the trading retreat for you? If we could have it anywhere on the planet, where would you have the trading retreat?
Anywhere in Maldives.
Maldives. Well, interestingly enough, I was spending a bit of time in Singapore with my friend Tony, and I've been catching him. He's back in New Zealand. I've just been a few days with him, and Tony owns a 5-star hotel on the Maldives. So they've got he runs a company that buys and sells hotel chains, and they have a large hotel on the Maldives. And I'm Seychelles and Kit's coming in from Helen, a few different ideas. Look, I'm sure the next one will be Bali, and I guess that I like Bali. And the other thing that's quite good for us about Bali is that the New Zealanders and Australians can get there quite easily, and the Poms and the Brazilians, etc., can come in via Singapore, and it's not too bad. To be fair, just a comment from Helen. Look, we don't do the Bali trading retreat to go and find clients. We do the Bali trading retreat to upskill clients. So how much money they've got and where they want to invest isn't really a big deal for us. Again, the Bali is where our team met Michael Bourne, the guy that's heavily blind that trades a huge amount of money. So you can run into people with plenty of money to invest in all kinds of different places if you have the right sort of approach and attitude to it. So, mate, handing out checks. Do you like handing out the checks?
Yeah, I mean, handing out a check, I think it is one of the great thing for me currently that I'm doing. I just handed out one check yesterday to someone that who joined us this year in January. Yeah, he told me January this year, January. He picked up his first check after I think that is 2 months of trading. So, of course, I enjoyed
Mate, January
in
online,
Singapore.
obviously.
In
Oh no,
Singapore,
the live one in Singapore.
yes, the
Oh,
one that
brilliant,
came down.
brilliant. Oh, that is
Yeah,
cool. That is nice. So that's Wave Rider.
yes, Wave Rider.
Fantastic.
So what happened was that I enjoyed passing out the check because I mean, currently in the COVID world, none of us can really go out, but all our courses that we are doing, like for mentorship courses or whatsoever, they are all online. So passing out the track to me is a time whereby I can get to still meet people who did not join us on mentorship program to find out how are they, and then also to provide a small little coaching to them, you know,
Yeah.
so to see how are they doing, to provide some advice to what. So yeah, so that's what I do during the so-called passing out of the check, handing out a check to them. But it is, I would have seen, I think, most of it more than any of the guys in here. You might see them in pictures that people are receiving check, but I have personally give out the check to people. So I have a spreadsheet. I think Paul would know. Every time I give out a check, I have a spreadsheet that let him know that this check has been given out. You see, so I know how many people are getting checks. So I feel that it is doable, and then of course is to help out these people, bunch of people who, after the course, if they are not on the mentorship, to see how to meet them face to face, to see them, to give out the checks to them.
But I really
So
like
that's one
handing
thing
out
I
the checks.
enjoy.
Yeah, it's always nice, people when they're getting their profit checks are always so grateful, and it's always really cool because they've done the work and they're entitled to their checks, but they always are really grateful, and it's always a nice time congratulating someone and seeing some smiles, and we probably don't really do enough with it as a business of trying to hold those guys up and celebrating. The accountant today or the other day sent me a number of queries on the accounts, and there was a few check payments in there for trading services. It's nice to see a bit of that going on. Okay, mate. So I need to look. I think what I'd like to do now is I'll open up to questions, and while we're doing that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk a little bit about the different broadcast groups. And there's 3 basic broadcast groups, and you can help me out because I'm making this up, and you'll know the detail more than me in a minute. But there's the Actions to Wealth broadcast group. There's the Online Trading Profits broadcast group, and there's the Public broadcast group. And what we're encouraging guys to do is to be in the one for Actions to Wealth or Online Trading Profit and the public one. We found that the company broadcast groups are getting a bit full of show announcements, They just seem to be show announcements. So what we've done is we've taken that stuff out and put it into another broadcast group. And then we're going to have content from Ash, content from Jeff, content from Orlando, content from Linker, content from Lloyd, all kinds of stuff, trade calls. So if you want that stuff, jump into the there will be a difference between them. I think that the company ones are going to be a lot more structured around company events, and they might, for instance, talk about one show for a couple of weeks and really try and point out how good that one show is. But they won't be doing lots and lots of stuff that's the same. They won't be promoting every show and every event and every no. We're gonna try and keep the really targeted stuff for the clients. So we're going to put the more general stuff out in the public one. Look, it's gone pretty well. We've already got over 500 people on that broadcast group, and look, Facebook have just rejected my ad actually, so I have to find out why and redo it so they accept my ad. And we'll have thousands of people in that group not too far away. There's going to be some great content in there. I encourage you to be in both. We felt that our people were getting a few too many reminders from Trader Toolbox is the public one. Yep. Trader Toolbox is the public one. And if you can jump into that would be great. So we can see you in that as well. That's free for everybody. And again, look, we'd really encourage you guys, if you want to invite your friends to jump into that as well. There'll be plenty of good quality content in there for everybody. And then the company ones will be that sort of higher level stuff. Mate, So what's coming up in the next few weeks? What are we doing?
The next few weeks, we have because first of all, a lot of people through the mentorship program or through the emails, people are asking whether they are getting back to tradings. I think things have started to settle down, and these ideas was float to Paul to actually recap on the daily wave rider course. So, and we are having some improvements in the daily wave rider strategy. I think Paul and Peter is working very hard back end to back test the whole strategy to make sure to find the most profitable one. And I think next week on the 3rd of April, we're going to have the daily wave rider updates and review of the new daily wave rider strategy.
Yeah, mate. So it is literally. I talk to Peter around 2 hours ago every day, and he tests stuff all night for us, and then I go through the data the next morning, and come back and ask him to do more. Been doing it for sort of nearly 10 days now, and trying to create the wave rider and go, okay, well, what's happening in the current market? We're testing it across 29 currency pairs over the last 2 years to see if we can find settings that would be more helpful. Certainly, it looks very encouraging. It looks like we'll have a new version of the wave rider to release on Saturday. Week Easter Saturday, we'll be doing that. Probably a full day program. And we do encourage those that are, look, if you're one of our clients, you're invited to this. It's free for our clients. We're not selling it to anybody. You can't invite anybody who's not an Actions 12th person. But if you're an Actions 12th person and you've done the wave rider before, you can come along for free, see the new version of us, see the new approach we have to teaching it. And the information for that will be out. It'll be in Traders Toolbox. It won't be in Traders Toolbox at the public line. It'll be in the Actions 12th Online Trading Profits groups sort of late tomorrow, about a week beforehand. It'll go out in the newsletter on Sunday. So there'll be quite a lot of information about this new course coming out in the next week. And look, to be fair, we're working really hard on it. So, the focus for mine is getting the best settings we can possibly get. I'm not sure how good the manual will be, etc. for it, but the stuff we're going to teach in there, I think, is going to be amazing. It's got a bit of work to be done, but I think it's going to be kind of cool. Hey, Juan, you're more than welcome. And Arshad, we don't turn mics on for people to put their hands up. If you have a question, just type it in there if you can. We will send the stuff out through social media. One, we will email all of our clients, people who have done Wave Rider. We will let them know. Helena, that's a question for Phil. We'll have him in at some stage to have a chat. I was talking to Adam today from Miles Capital as well. They're looking to add some people onto the accelerator program, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So the big thing, James, for us really in the next week is the Wave Rider review, change, catch-up program, right?
Yes. So next week is the one for the review and the updates on the daily wave rider strategy.
Look, guys, again, I've got a couple of guys with hands up. Putting your hands up in here, we can't do much with it in a webinar. So if you can just type your questions into the chat box. If you run your cursor along the bottom, you'll find a chat box. Click on that, it'll open up, and you can type your questions in there, and we will answer them for you as well. There's some great questions coming in. Let me get on these. Would the market scanner be upgraded as well? The market scanner will be upgraded. Whether it'll be ready on next Saturday, I have my doubts. So there's massive change going on, and we're going to keep pushing for getting better and better results until we teach it. So the market scanner might be a few days behind that, but I'm too far behind that. Actually, a couple of things I do want to talk about. We already have MS6.
I think what she meant is the market scanner 6.0.
Oh, yeah, look, one of the things that we're working on, look, PH won't be teaching that program either. We're teaching Wave Rider as part of an intro course in a couple of weeks, and we're going to practice some of the delivery of it in that course there. So Alexis or Ash will be on that with me. We'll be close to a full day course. We'll probably try and keep a couple of hours under that if we can, but it'll be a sort of 3/4 day course. There'll be no psychology or little psychology stuff, little other stuff apart from strategy. We're going to talk a huge amount about strategy. Look, one of the things that is really interesting at the moment, as you guys will know, I'm all over bias, and I've been talking about this for nearly 2 years now, saying that I started in Bali 2 years ago, talking about the fact that understanding how to do a yes, PH will still be doing the daily morning show. He'll still be teaching the strategy. He'll be running the strategy. He won't teach it on the day. Oh gosh! All of a sudden, lots and lots of questions. Let me keep one of the questions down, and I'll come back to them. So, I've been really big on bias for a while, and that Ash calls it charts plus. It's about having something other than a chart to support you in the way. And I really like seasonality. I really like fundamentals. COT's one of those things I've struggled to get my head around at times, but I've seen COT be really powerful. And as you guys know, we've got a broadcast group. We're going to give you guys some access to it. We're going to have a lucky draw for someone to have a month's free access to the broadcast group for that broadcast group. But one of the things that I'm considering doing is putting seasonality COT and seasonality COT and where's my brain gone? Fundamentals into the market scans. You'll actually be able to see on market scan what's a sell, a strong sell, and a neutral, a buy, and a strong buy. How many of you would like to have in the market scan that seasonality stuff included? So you can say it's a wave rider, it's a good trade, but it's against seasonality, so I'm not going to take it. Or it's with seasonality, so I'm going to take it at full risk. How many of you would like some? How many of you would like to see that kind of stuff included? Look, I'm just going to go back into these questions. We had a few run in at the same time, so how much we have got them. Fusion has moved to the MT5 platform. Could actions to wealth OTP's accounts move to MT5 platform as well? The answer to that's a straight no, Jura. Sorry, they won't move those at this stage. They're more than happy, they're more than happy for you guys to open MT5 accounts of your own, but the MT4 is where we are, and that's as far as we're prepared to go in the risk. And the brokers have been really clear that they're not planning on moving us, and that's very much a decision for them. I would expect long term that they will try and keep us on MT4 so that there's a real incentive for guys to open some live accounts in MT5 if they want to. Great, lots of people wanting the COT and the seasonality. No, Jura, the seasonality indicator on MT4 will be a standard MT4 indicator. And I would suggest that the stuff that we're doing, we've got because we wanted to replace that with something more relevant. So we supply our own seasonality charts. Those that are in the group get access to the website where they can see their own seasonality charts. They can see the COT charts. We do have seasonality charts for the majority of the Forex crosses. They haven't been put up yet, but they'll be put up in the next week. Having seasonality is great. You can use the market scanner on other platform exchanges as long as the account's in your name. Obviously, you can't just give it to 5 friends, but if it's your name, you're allowed to do that. Cheers, Helen.
Oh, and I think it can. I think another thing to add on for that is that it must be on the MT4 platform. It's not the broker-owned platform.
Yeah. If you're on CMC Markets, whatever they call it, Market Watch, whatever it is, it won't work on there. But if it's on an MT4 account, look, the markets, the trading software work on nearly any MT4 account. Look, I'd like to leave it open for a couple of questions for a little bit longer. And if you have any questions for James and his role, anything more general from me, I'm happy to answer them, happy to have a chat. We will wind up in a couple of minutes. We're going to do the draw. We'll get Maya to do the draw in a couple of minutes, and to have a winner, someone's going to get a month's access to the strategy bias group, the market bias group, I think we call it. And with that will come, for now, access to the COT charts, the seasonal charts, the once a week briefing from Ray, the summary information on COT, seasonal and fundamentals, and the currency by currency breakdown of them. Rightio, Mai, can we do a draw? Crystal, are you going to win it today? It's been a couple of weeks since you won it, Crystal. Crystal, are you going to win it today? No, I think you might. Mai started screen sharing. We've got the wheel of names. Let's rock it around and see if we can find a winner. There we go. Rightio, soon you've got 15 seconds to confirm to us that you are in the room. If you're in the room, you are our winner. Mai, don't go anywhere, just in case. Hey, there you go. Mai will pass your details on to James. And look, because we've got James here as a special guest, what we're going to do is we're going to get Mai to do that once more. Come on, Mai, let's have another winner. Thank you, Mai. I reckon Hanan will be pretty damn happy. Hanan, are you in the room still? If you're in the room still, right, yes, I know you're here. We'll get that. Might send that information to James. He will put you into the strategy bias group so you can see. You'd be pleased. Congratulations, you get 1 month free on that stuff. Congratulations. James, do they have to click a link to get the month free? Do they have to, do they have to pay at the end of a month if they do stay?
Yeah. So what we would do is that we will send them an email tomorrow to let them know. So they just click on the link to get the 1 month free. And then after that, if they decide to continue, then they will have to start paying for it. So,
we're
but
doing the special price on that, right?
Yes.
Good, mate. Nice to see you sitting forward, mate, looking all relaxed in front of the camera. Have you enjoyed the hour?
Yeah, I have enjoyed the hour. So, yeah, I think some of us, there's some questions in the chat that I see. I think one of the things is that for me, because I learned a lot of other.
For a second, mate. I'm going to come back to you in a second. Mike, can you bring up the wheel of names again, please? Mike, can you bring up the wheel of names again for us, please? There you go. Crystal, is that you? I think you're in there. There's Crystal and Francis. Is that 2 names or is that 1 name, Mai? My Crystal says you don't have her on the list. That's 2 names. I was going to delete it. Never mind. Next week. Oh, look, I'm going to do 1 more. I'm going to talk while Mai fixes this up, and when she fixes it up, we're going to do another one. Or more importantly, James is going to talk while we fix this up. We'll do 1 more. We'll do 1 more lucky draw. We're going to give away 3 of these. Oh, poor, that's going to be grumpy with me. Sorry, James. I don't mean to have interrupted you. What were you saying?
No problem. Yeah, I think there's some questions in terms of, am I happy with my trading success and so forth. I'd like to say that because, like I mentioned earlier, I learned. I mean, I was a financial planner before, so that I know. I think I shared this yesterday with the guy that picked up a check. So, and as anyone knows, you have to at a certain age you have to move some of the riskier so-called investment to more stable investment. So that is what I'm doing with my portfolio at the moment. I mean, for Forex, I still consider it as a riskier one, and I have my ETF and stuff like that, which is more stable one. So I wouldn't say that I have a lot of success, but at the same time, because my overall portfolio across the board has been increasing, I would say, not just only in trading, but my overall. So I don't depend on just trading has just one form of investment. I have other forms as well also. But of course, I am still learning. Sorry?
You're on the Australian property investment we did a couple of years back as well, aren't you? You've rolled that over, right?
Yeah. Yes, roll that over, and then it's going to.
Yep.
Yep. I think it's coming to another 2 years. I think this September again. So I think as a group we will just discuss. So I think that's my third thing that I like to join Paul, because we get to know all these things. We get to do things together in terms of investment. For me to learn more about other different kind of investment area. So I think that is one thing good for what I like about working with Paul.
Okay, just to clear that up, in there's a group of the team that have got some money in Australian property. We've got some money in a Brazilian sand mine that's due to actually pay us in the next month, I think. And, we've got a bit of money in crypto together. And, it's just something we really do. It's quite kind of good fun is to have a few of the team do a few of these things together. I always feel there's people that some of these opportunities come across my desk and I share them. So not on the pig farm for me now. I was going to go on the pig farm, but they were difficult to deal with. So I handed it over to a couple of guys who wanted to do it and put my money into the crypto. We're doing Shukri's about to trade some money for a group of us inside the organization. That's a very small group, to be clear. One more roll, please. Now we put Crystal in there. Can we see who's going to win? Crystal and Francis separated out. There we go. That looks better. Let's do it, Click, click. I win! No, I don't win. Stuart wins. Stuart, if you're in here, please let us know. We'll have 3 winners today. Stuart will give you fantastic, Stuart. I will get your details to James as well, and he will reach out in the next couple of days with an email with a link. Jura, it's a great question, actually. We're not going to hold Expo 2021 as such. What we're going to do, starting in a couple of weeks, we're going to have an event a fortnight, maybe an event a week for a couple of weeks. Rather than doing 2 or 3 days, where we do a lot of different things, we're going to have one person at a time, once a fortnight for the first couple of weeks, maybe once a week. I'm doing some work with James. I missed him today. We don't actually have an answer on it, but I think we're going to start on the 5th and the 12th of April on the Mondays. We may well do it on a Monday instead of a weekend. Our weekends are pretty busy with different stuff we're teaching. So instead of having all of that over 2 days, we're going to try and do one of those a fortnight. Often on a Monday night, occasionally on a weekend if need be for different people. Obviously, there are different hours for different presenters and who can work in the middle of the night and who prefers not to. But we're going to break it up and do 26 events a year as opposed to one event with 26 people in it is the plan at this stage. I'm sure it is. Your lucky day, buddy. Thanks, James. Anything else you want to finish on?
Nope. I think the only thing I want to finish off is for trading. I mean, as long as you persevere and look at the chart every day, don't give up, continue your learning. Like I think all of us, we are. Even Mikey is learning about crypto as well. I mean, as long as you are willing to learn, continue to learn and work on trading, definitely one day all of us will find our edge, the things that suits our personality in trading and start to be profitable in there.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about what's coming up. We are, I'd say today wasn't the best day for, but we're working pretty hard on teaching some new stuff and some improving some strategies and improving the way we teach stuff and improving our methodology. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background to try and make it as good as we can and give as many people as we can the chance to pick up some of those checks, which we need to be careful, James. We're going to run out of checks reasonably soon. I have to come back to Singapore and give a new checkbook.
Yep. When it happened, you have to come back to Singapore.
Helen, why am I so tired? I'm so tired because I'm up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with this testing every day. We've been testing nonstop every night, and during the night I look at the results and do some analysis of them and pass them back to the guys to do some more stuff. So we are, look, we don't take it lightly. We are redesigning our entry level strategy, and we put a huge amount of energy and effort into it. And it's one of those things which I just won't delegate. No one else gets to do it. I make the final decisions on everything around that strategy. Like we consult widely, but in the end, it's the strategy. It's where people start, and I really want to see if I can find 2% a month for people at the moment on top of what they're doing. I think it's in that wave rider. In fact, on the testing, I think we'll make a bit more than that. So I'm tired because I'm working really hard, and it's been a pretty rough week, a couple of weeks personally. There's been a bit of bad stuff going on in the background between that and all the work. It's tiring. But I've actually got a weekend home this weekend, so I will have a day off on the weekend and spend some time with the kids and get some sleep and feel great. Cheers, everybody. Have a wonderful week. James, thank you very much for coming on. A little bit different to have the operations manager on instead of a trader. Have enjoyed having you on, having a chat, mate. Good to have you here. To those that have joined us today, thank you very much. Do have a great week. Take care. Make good decisions, and it all works out. See you guys later. Bye.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, guys.